experience some type of catching or clicking into your shoulders or your hips, or feel some limitation or restriction in your motion, you may be experiencing impingement, or you might have been told you have impingement. So what is impingement? This is how I see it. To me, it's kind of like a door going into a door frame. Normally it's pretty smooth, and it should be pretty smooth, but what we find is sometimes, for whatever reason, the door doesn't close that well into the door frame, and it kind of has to, you gotta give it a little bit of that nudge, or just kind of fit it like the right way, just the right way for it to close. That's kind of like how impingement is. So for example, with your shoulder, if that head of the humerus or the upper arm bone isn't moving well on the glenoid, which is part of the shoulder blade, what we find sometimes is you may get some catching into it. So why do you want to address this impingement? Going back to our analogy and example here, if things aren't moving correctly and you just keep jamming that door and forcing the door into the door frame, eventually the door or the frame structurally, it's going to run into some issues, whether it be chipped or broken or whatever it is. Same thing with your bones. You don't want that to be happening. So how do we address this? One route that you can take and is appropriate at times, or you may have been told, is surgery. And what surgery looks to do is to change the structure. For example, either shaving down the door or maybe changing the door frame. And again, while that may be appropriate for some people, I think there's things you need to look at before you go down that path, and that irreversible path. And for us at Next Level, how we look at it is looking at the structures and all the other parts of the puzzle. In this case, the hinges, which are similar to your muscles and your ligaments and the surrounding structures of your joint. If the hinges are off, that's going to throw off the trajectory and the movement of the door. Just like if you have some muscles that are long and weak, or short and overactive, whatever it may be, that can throw off your movement and cause these restrictions that you're feeling. So if this is you and you're experiencing some type of impingement, please feel free to reach out to us. We would love to just dive into your movement and take a look to see why, and get to the root of the problem of why you're getting this impingement.